It won't be too long before our interview with Daryl Gurney that I gave to Daryl about an hour ago will go up on the Darts YouTube channel as well after his win this evening against Florian Hempel. So one seed has got through tonight, two have gone. What of Rob Cross? And we go back to the very first World Championship that talkSPORT 2 covered with darts on the radio. When we first convened here at Alexandra Palace, we were moving inexorably into the post-Phil Taylor era of the PDC Corporation. And it was Rob Cross on his first year on the Pro Tour who won the title on that stage at the start of 2018. But since then, up until last year, he'd never really gone deep in this tournament until he got to the semi-final last year, only to succumb to Luke Littler. But what do you make of Rob Cross 2024 styling, Nico?
Yeah, it's been all right. I mean, I think we've got to be fair to Rob that it could have been better. He won the Baltic Sea Darts Open in Kiel, beating Humphries in the final, and he's now won 2 European Tour events, because that, for quite some time, was something that he just couldn't do. He couldn't get across the line against the likes of Humphries and Van Gerwen. But now he's won more unranked tournaments than ranked tournaments in the previous few seasons, because he's been playing a lot of World Series. This year he won in New York City at Madison Square Garden, getting the US Masters in his collection. He got to the final of the Belgian Darts Open, where he lost to Littler. That was one of the best finals of the year, because Littler hit a 9-darter in it, of course. He got to the final of the Nordic Darts Masters in Copenhagen and in Gliwice at the Polish Darts Masters. So a lot of these events have got something in common: unranked. However, he is the number 5 seed, and he is projected to go into the top 4 in the world at the end of this tournament. But that may be very dependent on what he does against Scott Williams here.
So what has Scott Williams, who we shouldn't forget is Rob Cross's practice partner, they now live close to each other in Scott's Lincolnshire area. Rob has moved out of his native Essex and has hot-footed it up to Lincolnshire. What has Scott done for Rob since they've been working together as practice partners?
Well, I think that Rob is very similar to Fallon Sherrick in that they need lots of reps in the lead up to a big event like this. And when Rob was living near Hastings on the south coast, I think he had some practice partners down there, but he was actively trying to find them. And in order to get towards St Leonards-on-Sea, it was a long drive for anyone. If he went any further, you'd be in France. So what he decided to do was change where he is, so it was easier for him to find the people that he needs to practice with. I think we're going to find out what Rob does in Lincolnshire over the next 12 months. I think it's taken him a bit of time to settle there. But we'll find out what the plan is against the person he's been hitting with the most. So this is a fascinating dynamic. I know that Scott Williams will not care one hoot that he's playing someone that he practices with and someone he cares about. They've both got the same manager as well, and the same driver when it comes to going to European Tour events and beyond. So this is a 50-50 game in that regard. Forget about the ranking of 5 in the world. When Scott Williams goes on that stage, you might as well stick him in the top 10, because he's got that much confidence.
He is never short on confidence, Scott Williams, although that confidence was dented last year. He made it all the way to the semi-finals to take on Luke Humphries and didn't take a set off the eventual world champion.
Yeah, he got Luke Humphries at exactly the wrong time. Humphries had already done his survival tactics against Pietreczko, against Cullen, and when it came to January 2nd, and this was the day after Scott Williams had taken out Van Gerwen, a lot of people use the phrase "after the Lord Mayor show." Well, there was pressure on Scott Williams when he took on Humphries, and Humphries was just way more relaxed and way more prepared to make a final than Scott. But don't take anything away from that semi-final run. He was glorious to watch less than 12 months ago.
Really enjoyed himself last year, and he got through this year to this stage to take on his practice partner, but friendship ultimately means nothing at this point.
It means less than nothing. When you're playing for £10,000 And most importantly, you're playing for the chance to still be world champion in 2025. Friendship is in the bin. You could be playing your own parent, your own son or daughter. It doesn't mean anything. Put it aside. This is gladiatorial sport, and only one can prevail.
Well, we're getting ready for the introductions for the final two players in round two, because the round three draw is pretty much set in stone. We'll run through it when we get a chance here on talkSPORT 2 as to how it's shaping up, because there's only one more spot to be filled in round three. In fact, let's look at it now from top to bottom. Luke Humphries, the world champion, will take on Nick Kenny. Jermaine Watamina will take on Peter Wright, the number 17 seed. Stephen Bunting, number 8 seed, will meet Madas Razma. And Damon Heta against Luke Woodhouse. Heta, the 9th seed. Luke Littler will play Ian White, Diamond White. Ryan Joyce, Ryan Searle promises a great deal in that encounter. The winner of this match, Cross against Williams, will face Pikachu, Ricardo Pietreczko, and Nathan Aspinall will take on Andrew Gilding. Further down the draw, Kevin Goetz, who knocked out Michael Smith, will face Christoph Ratajski. Chris Dobie and Josh Rock is a mouth-watering tie in the third round. So too Johnny Clayton, Daryl Gurney, and Gerwen Price taking on Joe Cullen. And in the bottom quarter of the draw, Michael Van Gerwen against Brendan Dolan. Jeffrey de Graaf, who knocked out Gary Anderson, takes on Palin Abrida, who knocked out Ross Smith. Ricky Evans, who's just made it through with that sudden death win over Dave Chisnell, he will face the Welshman Robert Owen. And finally, Dimitri van den Berg will be up against Callan Ridge. So whilst there's an awful lot of seeds going home, there's still an awful lot of quality left for those that remain, Paul Nicholson.
The song is saying, I'm not okay. Well, it's okay to not be okay for now, but he wants to be okay in about an hour. And now, ladies and
That's Scott Williams applauding the crowd as he takes his place.
The winner of the World Match Play.
But things are changing now. Things are changing with Rob Cross's walk-on music over the years. It used to be hot, hot, hot. But he walked out to now, I don't recognise this. Oh, it's changed now. Voltage on his way to the stage with his well-known blue and black Voltage dark shirt, shaven head. The former electrician from Sussex made a real splash 7 years ago in his first year as a touring professional and became world champion, won the World Match Play, and he's looking for a second world title to join an elite band of those that have won multiple times here at Alexandra Palace in the PDC era. Cross on the stage, and I'm sure there'll be a warm handshake at least before things get underway between him and Williams, and then we'll see who's got the mettle to reach round three. A little wipe of the hand on the shirt from Scott Williams before he shakes his hand with his pal. So almost ready for the off. Scott Williams will have the darts in sets 1, 3 and 5. If we get to a fifth set, of course, it could be 1 in 3, could be 1 in 4. Looking at his average from his first round encounter, Scott Williams, 96 average. Looks very neat and tidy. So does the doubling percentage of 41%, Nico.
Yeah, that's a formula that could definitely work in this setting. All of Alexandra Palace right now is still coming down from that previous match. I think we are a little bit too. And over the first couple of sets in this best-of-5 match, I think these two are going to feel each other out. I can sense it's going to be one set all. this could be a fabulous crescendo to the pre-Christmas action. If you've never seen Scott Williams before, he's got a very bushy beard, a nice bit of hairstyling with a bit of a skin fade on the sides and the back. Rob Cross is going for the full skin fade with with the old razor treatment. He's a bit streamlined, but Scott Williams, 34 years of age, from Boston in Lincolnshire. Not Boston, Massachusetts, but I like this game, not just because they're practice partners, because there's a bit of a narrative here. Scott Williams is the best at getting rid of the Ali Pali Wasp, but he's the one who actually looks like one. He's got yellow and black in the trousers. He looks like a member of the Bay City Rollers.
He does.
Shirt, yellow and black, wasn't a good sign for Chisnell in the last one. But then you've got the former electrician, so this game, if it had a movie title, it would be Ant-Man and the Wasp.
You've thought that through. I
Yep,
love that.
I did.
Well, it's no wonder he did attract that Wasp in his first round match, but he swatted it away, the Ali Pali Wasp, with disdain. But now we get down to the real business. First set then underway. Williams with the darts. And starts with a steady turn. He's got yellow and black flights as well to match his darting regalia. Cross with his white Union flag flights. Very distinctive look 59. To his setup. No trouble in his first visit, and yet everyone is just resetting in the Ali Pali crowd. Everyone's still in their seats, but they're just thinking, 26. Oh right, there's another game.
Do you know what it is? This crowd right now, they're like everybody on December 25th, because they've had their Christmas dinner, they're sitting back watching the King's speech or listening to a bit of talkSPORT or talkSPORT 2, and then all of a sudden Mum comes out of the kitchen. Do you want dessert? Oh yeah, we'll have a look, because this is dessert.
Let's see how tasty it is. Williams
100
has popped in a second ton to get down to 275. Cross, who really wraps his whole fingers, all four fingers
100.
Around the dart, sort of masks the dart before he releases it. Williams with a slightly more orthodox hold of the dart between thumb and two fingers. Lovely bullseye hit as well there for 130.
Yeah, he's got a 3-point grip, and that is thumb, index finger, middle finger. Doesn't really matter where the dart is sitting, but when you're using three parts of your hand, that's called a 3-point grip. Doesn't have a great deal of drawback. It's all forward thrust on this 145 for Scotty Williams. Two single 19s
58.
and a very small 20 there, so low that if it was a quad board on the wall, he would have scored 80 points.
Well, he's down to 87. Cross way back on 211, just not got going yet. Voltage
58.
comes up with a third trebleless visit of this match already, and we're only in the first leg. 70 left for Scott Williams. Goes 20 for bullseye, and he's only just outside hitting 25, so half a chance for Rob Cross, but a big old checkout required here of 153.
Yeah, 153. He's going to go south on this one. Small 19. Likes to simplify the game. Rob Cross's game plan is all about three trebles: 60, 54 and 57. He doesn't like the 51. Williams likes 25, and he's taking it in two darts on 988 for a 1-0 lead.
That was a 20 dart hold though, so it's a game that's yet to get to the pace of some of the others we've seen earlier. The Hempel game against Gurney was a terrific pace throughout, but hang about, here's Rob Cross popping in a maximum at the start of leg two.
Not really noted for his maximums, but he just stick one in every now and again. And honestly, we just see Rob Cross at the left-hand table away from the board. He is noted for how much water he drinks during a match, say a regulation best of 11.
77.
They usually put 2 bottles of water out on the table for him at European Tour events, but over the course of the last couple of years, they've got to know him so well that he gets 3.
99.
Everybody gets 2, but Rob gets 3. What's he going to go through in this game if this goes 5 sets?
Well, he's in the red bit again at the start of this third visit. trying to get down to a finish from 2:44. Oh, he's down to a finish all right. Second maximum of the leg. Down to 64 after 9.
His wife Georgia looking on in the crowd. I'm sure the kids at home are staying up to watch Dad against someone they'll probably call Uncle Scott. 64 for Rob Cross. Single 16. He gets the small one, then hurdles the treble to the big 16, and then finds the double as well. A little show of passion there from Cross. I don't mind that as long as you can measure that energy spending throughout the course of this game.
134.
So one leg apiece. And Georgia looking pensive. Rob's wife out the audience.
She's been through it all over the last 7 or 8 years, watching Rob's journey.
And they've had a long wait, both players and all the friends and family in the VIP area have had to wait their turn to take their seats in the front 2 rows of the VIP section.
140.
Whilst the likes of Gurney and Hempel and particularly Evans and Chisnell have been battling out up there. Now they get their chance, and we're 5 to 11 on this Monday evening.
96.
With Christmas Eve just around the corner.
Rob won't mind this. When he played on December the 30th, 2017, he went past midnight against Michael van Gerwen in what can't be disputed as the best game Ali Pali has ever seen. Cross van Gerwen, 2018 Championship semi-final. It went all the way to the last leg. It was simply unbelievable. 136 Williams in leg number 3 here.
But it won't go with a single 20. 96 left, but he stays there and gets a treble to leave himself on double 18 because Cross won't be able to take out 2-2-3. So it's going with throw at the moment. And neither player getting above 90. As I say, that Cross just nips above 90 into 91. Double 18 for Williams on the wire. Too far inside with the second dart. Across for double 9, and he misses that on the outside. So now Cross has got a chance. 1-2-6 for a break of throw.
This would get a reaction. 419s in bull. There's one of them. He's a good 1.5 centimetre above the 57. Second dart is below. So the shot is off. And he hits treble 7 with the last dart. I'm not really sure what he was trying to do there. I think he was going for the treble 16. Single 10 for double 4 for Scott. He's way inside the double 4 and way outside the double 2. 2 terrible darts from Shaggy.
Yeah, very erratic from Williams. So Cross has another chance to break. 67 the outshot now for Voltage. 50 left. Goes 18 for double 16. Wipes the hand on the trouser leg. Rob Cross's favourite little idiosyncrasy before going for a double, but it doesn't help him on this occasion. He's outside 16s.
Double 2. Scott Williams still on it. Still looking for it. Getting closer. Not close enough. All 3 darts on the outside. And gets the slow. No score from Hugh Ware.
Back in for 16s then, Rob Cross. He wires that on the outside. Resets and pins it with the second dart to break the throw and go 2-1 up in set 1. Scott Williams gives himself a pep talk briefly back at his table. And now Cross is in to try and win the set with the darts. Hit 2 doubles at 4 attempts. But that's a very wavy throw, and he sort of acknowledges it as he retrieves the darts with a 58 score, whilst Williams pops in a 140.
I don't know what you think, Dance, but I think Shaggy looks a little bit subdued. He's not showing the same sort of qualities that we saw from him in the first round when he was taking on Nico Springer, which was a horrible draw, I might add. But that's a third 180 from Rob in this first set. This is really good from Cross. And the darts that Shaggy's using in that yellow shirt with lots of black and a little bit of other detail as well, those darts have got something in the region of 4 less grams per dart because they've recently been on a slimming. They've lost weight because he thinks he needed something more streamlined. I think he's right, because it definitely worked at the recent Players' Championship finals when he made the quarters. That was his best result of the season.
Well, maybe he is a little inhibited playing his chum, his practice partner. I mentioned this to you on the Aces and Arrows podcast that came out this afternoon, and both you and Mace were fairly adamant that it's not a factor.
It shouldn't be. Small 20 on a 1-2-1 effort for Williams. He's got the 51 in his ball. Weight of dart was perfect, but if the 25 was a clock, he'd have hit 9 o'clock, not the centre.
1-2-6 for Cross to win the set. Treble 19 hit. Another treble 19 will leave double 6. Single 19 hit, so that leaves the bull. Can he succeed where Williams failed? No, he hits almost exactly the same spot at 9 o'clock in the 25 outer ring.
It's actually 11 o'clock local time, and it's 25 for Williams, which he takes again. 2-2.
So he's broken back. And now Williams has to throw, but he's just puffing out his cheeks as he walks back. Feeling like this is taking a lot out of him, even though we've only played for 8 minutes on the Oki and only 4 legs played.
I think the on-Oki scheduled time for these guys was about an hour ago. I've been in this situation where you come on after a long match. It's difficult how you program, say, 4 hours beforehand. If that turns into 5, you have to manage how many darts you throw backstage and what you actually do. Playing at this time of night is something these players don't do very often. They play lots of their Pro Tour stuff during the day. The only time they play this late is if they're in a major final or maybe in a European Tour final. And Cross has got more experience of that than Williams, who's now on 2-2-1 after 6, after a fourth 180 of the set.
97.
Just 97 for Williams, so he's thrown 9 darts. Cross has only thrown 6, and Cross is ahead and trying to get down to a finish from 221. Needs a treble maybe, and he only gets 60. So he is down on 161, which is doable. What can Williams do rather from 240? Nice work hitting 2 bulls. Very, very nicely done to leave himself on 120.
Double bubble there for Williams. 2 bulls, but Cross on 161. Ooh, this brings back memories. 54. Doesn't get the 57. I remember when he hit that against Van Gerwen in 2017. That was one of the best shots I've ever seen. 120 though for Williams for the set. Probably have to go 2 bulls again. He's got 1. He hasn't got it.
95.
That could have been the second time in PDC history that someone's hit 4 bulls in a leg.
He was a whisker away, and he knows it. So does Cross, who wants 73 for the set. 19 hit, 54 left. 14 will leave 1 dart in Rob Cross's hand at double top to win the first set. And he's way inside, a good inch into big 20.
This is unbelievable. Williams is on his 3rd 25 checkout in the set. Does he hit it on double 4? He's had a chance to win the set.
Oh, he's complaining at the camera, I think, saying that the camera that was pointing at him from to the left of the board as he looks at it moved. Certainly had an issue with something, whilst Cross pins double 10 and wins the set. And Scott Williams is still pointing, saying that camera was moving in a way that distracted me as I was going around the board trying to chase double 8 and double 4. So the set ends unhappily for Scott Williams, but his practice partner and number 5 seed Rob Cross has taken the first set. Second set on the way on your home of darts on the radio, talkSPORT 2. Just wondering if there's going to be any words exchanged between Rob Cross and his practice partner Scott Williams as they're both out on the stage before the second set commences, but not really. Scott Williams had a problem with the cameras that point at him. As you look to the board, it'd be the cameras that are set to the left that poke through the stage at the relevant players. But Paul Nicholson with Cross one set to liver. What was Williams' beef and what do you think about it?
Well, Scott is not the kind of person to have a beef with something unless something actually has happened. If there's a wasp out there, he just takes care of it. But what everybody listening on talkSPORT 2 may not have seen before, or may have, is that when you face the board, there are two cameras to the left of the board. One of them is fixed on the position of the player on the hockey. There is another one that is variable, which will move if you move. What Scott was displeased with is that he's gone from one side of the board to another, but hasn't moved his position on the hockey, but a camera moved and put him off. And that's why he was talking to referee Hugh Ware at the end of set one. It's a set that he's lost. He must not let that fester in his mind. He's got to just play darts now.
Cross took the first set against the throw. It was Williams who had the honour at the start, and the first set average is not great. 88 for Cross, 82 three-dart average for Williams, and only 13% on his doubles. That's got to improve for Scott Williams if he's going to have a chance of getting back at his pal. But Cross starts the second set with a maximum, setting the tone for what may be to come.
If you said to me
40
that Rob Cross would be 5-0 up in maximums just after set one, I would have said, are you feeling okay? This is not what he does.
No.
Me and Chris Mason were talking earlier this afternoon, talking about the likelihood of maximums from these two.
43.
Not very likely at all, because Rob uses the board a bit more. We know that Williams does, but tonight, for some reason, the 180s are clicking for Cross, and they are looking at the minute like his most effective bullet in the gun. This is great on the 60 from Rob.
Coming downstairs for 19s on this occasion, voltage,
57.
and then for 18s, but gets no treble. So Williams with a chance to get back on terms in this leg from 3-6-1. Only 81 scored though, so Cross still has a decent advantage here. 19 PDC titles to Rob Cross, including the World Championship and the World Match Play. You mentioned the US Masters this year, the Baltic Sea Open this year also went to Cross. We have to go back nearly 9 years before he won the Challenge Tour Order of Merit that led to his promotion into the Pro Tour.
And who did he graduate with? Ryan Searle.
My fave.
51.
In the Ryan Derby coming up in the third round against Ryan Joyce. We'll see how that goes and all the other third round
50.
action. Plenty of commentary to come after Christmas here on talkSPORT 2, your home of darts on the radio. Not to mention the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Cross takes out tops for the first leg with a minimum of fuss. Williams was back on 130, so is that beef with the camera operator affecting him? Well, all three darts on that first visit from Williams went into the small 20 underneath the treble.
I was just reading social media in the break between set one and set two, and a lot of people believe that Scott is showing too much respect to Cross. I don't think that's too far from the truth. We haven't seen a great deal of exuberance from Scott, but then again, he hasn't had a great deal of stuff to celebrate. He's only averaging 80 in this contest, which is way down on his seasonal numbers, his tournament average. He needs a spark from somewhere, not to have any pun there because his friend is an electrician.
97.
He's 37 in the world at the moment, Scott Williams, so on the fringes of that top 32.
60.
Has he got the game to get into the top 32, even the top 16?
He's very flashy, I think he would admit that. What he's searching for, which a lot of people are searching for, it's consistency. His game is flamboyant.
58.
I would say if he was a golfer, he'd be John Daly. If he's a snooker player, maybe he'd be Mark Allen. But Mark Allen is actually starting to get consistent in the later years in his snooker career. Shaggy is very young for a dart player. He's only in his early to mid-30s. He's still got a lot of time ahead of him. And he might even be ahead of where he wants to be at this age. At this point in time, Rob Cross is toying with him. 60 hit by Williams. Veers into the treble 1, but goes back to the 60 with dart 3. That's a little bit better. He's to the finish first here. And, of course, he leaves 147 after we've been talking about snooker.
Cross trying to get down from 2-1-8. Lovely pick-off of treble 19.
96.
So he's down to a finish as well.
147.
122 when he comes back, if Williams can't take out 147, which he cannot. Can he break 100? Yeah, he can with a treble 20 to finish.
Rob Cross, on form, is the best treble 18 hitter in the world. He'll need it here. And he gets it. He wants another one. Doesn't get it this time. He's short in the small 4. And then he finds the treble 7 with the last dart. Just flung that away to leave 43. Williams on 48 to level at 1-1 in the second. And he's hit double 7. Double 9 left.
39.
Very erratic. He hits the single 9. And Cross can be 2-0 up in the second and cruising if he hits 43.
Goes 11 for double 16. The wipe of the hand on the trouser leg, the reset, the second dart pins in the little hole that was already in that double 16 bed. I know you players use that as a guide sometimes, can't you? That specific little hole that's been left by a previous dart that's landed in the bed.
I know one player that doesn't. Ryan Searle, because he can't see the dots.
That's true, he can barely see the board.
I wonder if he's listening to this, because he knows you're his biggest fan. Hi, Ryan. Merry Christmas.
Season's greetings, heavy metal.
100.
And a maximum from Scott Williams. Retrieves the darts nonchalantly. He still looks unconvinced by the fact that he's hit that maximum and that he's trying to mix it with his best mate, his practice partner. He has lost here to Cross. Before they were practice partners, this was the 2023 version 2 years ago, where he lost at this stage by 3 sets to 1 to Rob Cross.
Yeah, that was after he'd won in the first round with a personal best average. He's never bettered that 100.32 that he got against Ryan Joyce in that first game on the stage.
41.
He's been pretty close. He might even be close in this game if he starts going bananas, which is the right colour for what he's wearing. But he's looking at the red now, and he gets all 3. Something's starting to work. He's on 83 here, but he is 2-0 down in this second set and 1 set to love down.
So Cross coming down from 359, looks for a 171, but can't get it. But hits 7 19s. 83 left, mate. It's 81 now for Williams. He went for the bullseye and hit single 2. 19, he's laying up for a finish, went for treble 10 and hit single. So he's left on 52 with Cross back on 226.
It's not a bad position to be in that. I know he wanted to leave himself on a double with 3 darts, but at least with his amount of variety that he uses on the dartboard, he's got options from 52. Cross the number 5 seed leaves 138. It's going to be 20 for double 16 for Scott. He's missed the 16 on the right-hand side, but the double 8 is good. And if one double works more than anything else for him tonight, it has been double 8. Predominantly, it's been on 25 checkouts, though. If he'd hit 3 of them, he would have won that first set.
But he's broken back in this second set. 2-1 the score.
134.
And a 1-3-4 with 6 19s in that from Williams to start leg 4 to try and get back level with Cross.
Do you know what fixture this is, Dance, in football terms, because of who they support?
100.
Go on.
Rob Cross is a Chelsea fan.
Okay.
Scott Williams is a Newcastle United fan.
Is he?
140.
From
Yes.
Lincolnshire?
Yeah, when he travels to airports on the tour, he's always got a Newcastle United shirt on.
Okay.
And the yellow and black that he wears has got something to do with his son, who he has nicknamed Buzz. The yellow and black is an homage to his boy.
I see. Every day's a school day. Darts on the radio always educates. Always aims to, anyway. Williams in front in this fourth leg. 140 plays 265, so he's neatly placed. Cross picks off a 171. 3 sets of treble 19. Beautifully done.
Just when Williams thinks he's got a little bit of breathing room, he's got very little. Down on the treble 19 himself as a cover shot. Leaves himself on 62, but Cross on 94's got options. He's going to go for the 54, of course. And he's going to hit it because he's the best 54 hitter in the world. But how's his tops? Way over the top with dart 1. Second one, incoming.
74.
And 2 low, low, low.
Scott, you require 62.
So 62 for Williams to take us to a deciding leg in the second set. Treble 10 hit, double 16 hit. We are at 2-2.
Scott Williams.
And Cross has the darts to take the set, but that's breaks the throw, holds. It's all happening in the second set. Cross hits a single 1 and a 19. Needs a treble and doesn't find one. This is a chance for Williams.
It is, but he's still subdued. If I could categorize him right now, it's that he's on the leash. Having said that, he's just at a 177, and that leash has just got very tight to the point of snapping. If he wins this leg, I think he will be firmly off the leash, which will not be good news for Cross.
Another dreadful visit for Cross. He's 4-2-1 after 6 darts, whilst Williams, after the 177, was after 3 more perfect darts. But a ton will have to do, but he is firmly in control of this deciding leg. Cross just can't get it together in this leg at all. Picks off treble 19 at last with dart
95.
8 on his leg scoring run. Williams looking to get down to a finish. Has a glance at the scoreboard from 2-2-4. He looks for treble 18, but only picks off single 18 for a 57 score. But he's on 167 for the set.
Yeah, 140 here from Cross will get him back in the vicinity of Williams and that 167, but Cross is not getting that. Only 60 leaves 266.
Scott, you require 167.
It might have to be 1 set all. 167 for Williams, 57 hit. No 60, but that's okay. Just misses the treble 18. He's inching towards the point where he can win this set. And let's not forget he did have a chance to win the first one as well. This could be a position where he was 2 sets to 0 up. But after what happened at the end of the previous set, he'll take 72 here and 1 set all, and he's got to get it.
Treble 20 hit, double 6. Set 1 went to Cross. Set 2 goes to Scott Williams. And the best pals and practice partners are Levels Your Devils. We play to a finish next on your home of darts on the radio, talkSPORT 2, between Rob Cross and Scott Williams, here in your home of darts on the radio. You're listening to coverage of the PDC World Championships on talkSPORT 2 with Village Hotels. Hit the bullseye this Boxing Day at the best place to watch live sport. And the Ali Pali crowd singing along to Robbie Williams. And Scott Williams was actually conducting them for a short time, having walked back on the stage early in the comfort break, having levelled matters at 1 set apiece against his practice partner Rob Cross. And Rob Cross might get in a bit of trouble. I can't say too much about what he did when he walked off the stage, but the camera caught him making a gesture which was not smart. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, the Darts Regulation Authority don't like gestures. Trust me. I've paid for a few Christmas parties myself. Anyway, it's 1 set all. And this is finely poised.
So what's Cross thinking at 1-1? I mean, he could have lost the first set, yes, snatched it. They both could have won the first and the second. They've both had chances. So what's Voltage thinking right now?
He's thinking I'm not playing very well. He's averaging nearly 87, 85 in the second set. Yeah, his doubles percentage is 45%, which is give or take around about what he's been doing on stage this year. But his output in the scoring is erratic. We've had 2 completed sets and he's got 2 140 plus scores.
57.
Admittedly, he's got 5 maximums, but 140s and let's say 134s and 131s, that's where he makes his money. He's not hitting them. So if that doesn't click, that means that he is vulnerable to the attack of Williams, who is now improving in this match.
Just gone 20 past 11 on the 23rd of December.
85.
And we're only into set 3, but there's no more comfort breaks at this point, so we play to a finish from this moment on. To paraphrase Shania Twain, Rob Cross, the 5th seed, does not want to become the 14th seed to depart these championships at the round 2 stage and eclipse the record of 13 that we had in 2019 going out at round 2.
I'll tell you what, Dance, that quiff of Scott Williams is very impressive. I've seen Kelly Slater ride waves smaller than that. He's a stylish individual, as Williams. Very engaging guy to speak to.
You're not going to miss him on the street, are you?
Oh no, he's a unit. If he was an NFL player, he'd be Travis Kelce. He'd be a tight end. He's big, stocky. I bet he can run, and you wouldn't want to block him.
Are you watching Taylor Swift?
There's a chant.
Cross.
Get the Swifties involved. I mean,
59.
Darts could use another push.
Yeah, as if Luke Littler hasn't done enough. Let's get Tay-Tay involved in the PDC. Getting her doing a routine at the final, singing Cruel Summer.
I never, ever thought I'd hear Ian Danter saying Tay-Tay.
So I'm full of surprises, me. Cross is only averaging 67 at the start of this 3rd set.
100.
Pops in 100 when he needs it.
87.
But Scott Williams on throw, 87. That's 70 left, 20 leaves a bullseye. He's got to go for it because Cross is waiting on 130. And he's way, way underneath, outside the 25 and into single 17.
Yeah, that was not a good dart. That was a good inch away from the target. Cross on 130, he's got a small 20. He's got to lift this second dart over the top and does it with precision. He pauses, he wipes the hand, he looks at Bull, and he hits it. A little bit of a spark there from Cross. No celebration, but a nice pop on the bullseye to take the first leg of the 3rd set. Nothing wrong with his doubles, 6 out of 12.
And take that against the throw as well.
97.
So Cross starts the 2nd leg with a 97. Oh, Williams in for a max on the 3rd dart, just deflects away. Makes it harder for him. What a shame. Looked set for a maximum there, but what Chris Mason calls a dirty deflection did for him in the end. And the dart flew into small 20. Almost maximum number 6 for Cross, but he has a deflection for a 140 in the end.
This is a pretty dramatic game for 87 averages.
100.
I think we're maybe going the other way to the previous match. You know how they were averaging from 107 in the first set? Evans at about 100. and they came down to 94 by the end.
Yeah.
I think these guys are going to go from mid-80s to around about the 90 mark by the end, and I think we've got plenty of sets left in this. Midnight is imminent. We're going to get past it.
Hello, Roadworks.
Do you remember the old Alan Robson get to those phones up in the northeast?
I see, I didn't grow up, but that's Metro Radio, isn't it?
Hello, you night owls. And a big hello to all you truckers out there.
And we do have a lot of truckers listening to Darts on the radio. You are titans of the road, gentlemen. Thank you for your company. Cross has taken the first leg of this third set. One set apiece, and he needs 125, as you just heard Hugh Ware call it, to take the second leg. Hits the 25, 100 left, treble 20 for tops. Only hits single 20, 80 left. Picks off a lovely treble 16 though, to leave him on double 16, but 78 for Williams, 60 left, 20 for tops, one dart tops. Oh, he's underneath. Can't blame a wayward camera for that miss double.
I liked his bravery going for the left-hand side of tops there. He didn't want to move, he didn't want to go out of rhythm, so he stayed and he went for half the bed and he just missed it low. Cross has blocked double 16 because his dart has veered to the right. Half the bed to aim at. Now it's even worse. He's got about 20% of the bottom or 10% of the top to aim at double 16. Goes over the top, but far too much to the right. And Williams is on double 10 for 1-1 in the third.
And that's a break back for Scott Williams. One set piece, one leg apiece on talkSPORT 2. Just a little grimace as he goes back to his mark. He is finally starting to get fired up here when initially against his practice partner Scott Williams looked to be playing within himself and looked a man desperate not to show too much against his pal. Things are changing up there.
I wonder what other things Scott Williams has got in yellow. We know he's got a pair of yellow shoes. He's worn them on the European Tour.
He's got a yellow watch on, hasn't he?
They're a little bit hideous, those shoes. He's got the yellow watch on. He's the second person I've seen with a yellow watch on this stage. Peter Wright's the other one. Got yellow trousers, yellow shirt. I think if he was to walk into a car dealership, he'd probably say, like Batman, does it come in yellow?
140.
A yellow Batmobile, imagine that.
Yeah, and when he answers the phone, he says, yellow.
Oh, God. You answer ahoy hoy when I call you.
It's because I like Mr. Burns.
You're one of the few people on the planet that still does it. I have to admire you for that. Actually, I normally only phone you when I'm driving through a certain part of the North Midlands.
Matlock.
Yeah. So I can do my Grandpa Simpson impression for you. Always raises a smile. Scott Williams wanted 170 to take the third leg, but has to set up with a 135, 65 left. 208 cross, starts on 18s, gets 6 of those, stays on 18s. Oh no, he goes to 20s. 128 scored. Scott Williams to take the lead, 65. Oh, he's hit bull, 15 left, 3 for double 6, and he's inside double 6 by a centimetre.
Yeah, you can't get the 90-degree shot there with the bull, the 3 underneath, and the double 6 to the right. This one is a straight line up top. 2 single 20s for tops for 80. There's the small 20, that's okay. There's the big 20. Climb the ladder a little bit more. One more step to tops, and Cross misses the mark, just low, to leave double 10. Williams on double 3, and right in there at the start of that visit with dart number 1 for a 2-1 lead in this third set. Not to coin the phrase of Abe Simpson's best pal, Jasper, but in Rob Cross's case, there's trouble a-brewing.
That's Dublin. From Scott Williams to get that double 3. That's
131.
The 5th seed finds himself behind in this match. For the first time, I think.
Yes, I believe that's the case. He started the better player, hitting those 180s in the first set. They've dried up a little bit, only 1 since the start of set 2. And Williams is gradually putting something together here. He's now averaging 88 and he's cooking very slowly and getting towards that boiling point where he's feeling a bit more confidence.
Well, his average for this set is actually over 93, a good 8 points ahead of Cross in this particular set. And he's getting down to a finish. 140 hit from 230 to get down to 90 for the set. Cross back on 267. And Scott's partner out there in the audience, her heart's going boom, diddy boom, diddy boom, diddy boom, boom, boom.
Well, Williams might go boom on 90. He's got 25 and 65 left. With Cross on 208, he's got options here. He might go treble 19. In fact, he went for treble 11. He's at a 14. That's a happy accident, because now he can lay up for whatever he wants. He's left tops. He's going to get a look at it. Cross is looking for a 162. He's not going to get it. 418s and a 20. And he bowed his head there as if to say this set is lost.
Not necessarily. Double 10 with only 2 darts left in hand for Williams, and he misses with both. So a lifeline for Rob Cross. 116 the outshot. Only needs 1 treble. He's got it. Treble 20. Stays on tops to leave himself on double 18. Oh, he's 80. Way off. Way off.
Scott, you require 20.
Back in for double 10, Scott Williams for the set.
Misses it just outside. What a marker. Used perfectly. And Williams takes the lead at 2-1. Still quite subdued.
But no eye contact between the two pals. Acknowledgement from Cross that Williams got the job done in that set, but Cross now has the darts in set 4, which is underway now on talkSPORT 2.
85.
Let's be honest, Dance, we've been lenient on Cross in this match. His doubles are suffering now. His scoring is not good enough. He's averaging 86.
95.
This is the World Darts Championship. He's looking to get a second championship. I know it's the last game of the second round, but it doesn't matter when you play, you've got to be ready for it, whether it's late at night, early in the afternoon, or somewhere in between. This for Cross is a bad performance, and Williams so far is taking care of it with similar numbers.
46.
It's a poor visit from Williams, though, from 406. He's behind Cross after 6 darts apiece. Cross's average dipped to 84 in that third set. Started about 88. That's better from Voltage, a 140 visit. But he's not, his body language is not one of a cocksure, confident individual.
100.
It's one of somebody searching for that dreaded word, spark.
It's almost as if both players are a little bit unsure as to how they feel
60.
in this moment.
I think the audience is unsure as to how this game is going, where they want their allegiances to go, because normally they pick a side in any contest.
90.
Yeah, it's very rare to see a neutral game at Ali Pali. Williams has left 170 after a beautiful bullseye. Cross on 117, single 20. Doesn't get the treble 19, he misses it drastically low.
57.
And then the treble 18's missed drastically high. The weighted dart is not good enough at the minute for Cross. Williams, 170, imminent. Bullseye again!
Oh! Just over the top. That was at 11:30 on that outer ring. So Cross back in for 20 and tops. The 20's hit, having to move across to the right, but he gets the double top with the second dart. And Scott Williams just gives himself a quick pep talk at the back of the stage, realising how close he was to breaking the throw at the start of that fourth set.
This must be really horrible for people to watch in both people's camps, because they spend so much time together travelling and sharing ideas,
Are they
sharing
spending Christmas
dinners.
Day together? Oh, you know, that's the thing. Are the Williams and the Cross family meeting on the 25th?
Probably not after this.
41.
Trust me, Dance, you don't want to share Christmas dinner with someone who's lost pre-Christmas. It's not a nice experience.
So Ryan Searle's not nipping around Gary Anderson's for a bit of turkey crown?
Probably not. I can say from experience, and Mace would back me up, is that if you lost pre-Christmas, you just gave us a bit of rope and just give us a bit of distance.
Yeah.
And then we somewhat start to recover around the 27th, and we watch the rest of the tournament, but we do with a little bit of bitterness.
279 Williams. Cross coming down from 360, almost getting a maximum, but really snatches at that third dart and it lands in small 20. Williams trying to get down to a finish. 121 will do that nicely. 158 will be the outshot when Shaggy returns.
He has actually got options on 158. I've seen him in the past go 2 treble 18s and bull on that. Cross on 220, he's got 2 single 20s and a third now to leave 160. He's actually got 2 options from that as well. Went for the 18s, single, followed by a single 20 and another to leave 100. But Cross would love another shot at tops here after 2 60s to take out a mammoth ton plus check out of 160. It's not going to happen.
Single 1, and he smiles to himself as he comes down and picks off treble 19 and a treble 20. Could be too late. Williams wants tops underneath, double 10, pins it. Little roar from Williams, you heard it. It's 1-1. It's going with throw in the 4th set. Williams 2 sets to 1 up, remember, against the number 5 seed and former world champion.
Williams' partner is so close to the person that she's sitting next to, they might as well be the same person. They are clasping hands so much that circulation has stopped. That's how tense this is for them. And that's what it's like for someone to watch from close quarters.
And be able to do nothing about it in this most psychological of individual sports, where your demeanour can change from 1 minute to the next. There's a maximum from Cross, the 8th of the match. I think we are edging towards £500,000 for prostate cancer UK research. £1,000 for every maximum hit at these championships.
We're doing a bit of late night darts here on talkSPORT 2, of course.
94.
You are listening to coverage of the PDC World Darts Championship on talkSPORT 2 with Village Hotels. Hit the bullseye this Boxing Day at the best place to watch live sport. And at this late hour, Scott Williams has taken the zip to the bottom because it is hot up there.
Indeed. Cross trying to take out 106. He's hit treble 18 for double 16. And he's got double 16 to lead now in set 4 with a chance to level things up if he can break the Williams throw at the start of this 4th leg.
57.
This match now reaching its critical stage. Rob Cross, Voltage, winner of the US Masters at Madison Square Garden in the summer, and the winner of the Baltic Sea Open this year as well. Trying to get the better of his pal.
132.
Just a treble 4 from Williams when he was looking for 18s after a lovely 120 to start that visit.
Well, if Williams wins this leg, we've got one of those crazy situations where if Cross wins the next leg, we go to 2 sets all, but if Williams wins it, the match is over.
Which is exactly what we had with Hempel and Gurney earlier, where Gurney had to win that leg at 2 sets to 1 down and 2-2. Did it and ended up getting over the line.
I'll say it again, that's one of the most impressive Daryl Gurney performances I've seen in the last 2 years. It was mature, it was patient,
92.
and it was purely brilliant.
I quite agree. Could this be Daryl Gurney version 2.0?
58.
Clayton next for Gurney. It's a good game, that.
Give me that game. That is brilliant. Williams saying, give me that 120, because I want to win the next leg as well and win this match. Cross on 212, he's in the treble 3,
86.
but the last start in the 57 saves his bacon to leave 126. Williams 120. He's going to look at 2 bulls again. Doesn't get the first one this time, but he does get the 51 to lay up very, very well, and that is to leave double 12.
126.
But can Cross take out 126 for the set? Only hits 19. Can he hit treble 19? Oh, for Bolton he can't. Again, just deflects
62.
away from the treble. So now for 2-2, it's 2 12s. 2 6s now for Williams. He's got it. So we go to a deciding leg, and Rob Cross has the darts. And now the crowd are getting more invested in the closing stages of this match. But they still haven't really picked a side.
I have lost count of how many times I've seen Rob Cross get out of jams like this. But I'm not sure that he can get out of this one, because Williams has started what could be the last leg of the contest with his third maximum.
Wow.
First sign of real exuberance there. Gradually nodding the head as if to say, I'm going to get this finished in the next couple of minutes.
So, another great dart in treble 20, and another. Is it going to be 6? It is! He's on for a 9-darter to win the whole thing.
Can you do what Damon Heta couldn't a couple of days ago by finishing the entire day and finishing pre-Christmas darts with the second 9-darter of this championship?
1-4-1, he's going for the 9th, actually went for the 16th and missed it. But he's laying up for a 2-dart finish, but Cross is on 170.
This would be an earthquake of a shot. He's got the first 60, it's right at the top as well. It's begging for another. He doesn't get another, he pulled it, it's low. And Williams has got 80 points to send Cross packing.
Oh, he's out the board, he was going tops, and out the board again. What a waste! What a waste, Scott Williams!
There's flashy, and then there's questionable. That was questionable. Cross on 70, he's got treble 80, and of course he has. Double 8 to take us to 2-2 in sets. Hates dart 1 at double 8. How is dart number 2 at it? It misses, and Williams has got 60 here. It should have been less, but he'll still take the shot, and it is to win.
Single 20 for double top. That's hit. Double top. Got it! Another seed goes, and it's a former world champion that goes. The last match in round 2 goes the way of Shaggy. Scott Williams against his practice partner and best pal, Rob Cross. The 2018 champion bows out, and Scott Williams, with an average of just 87 for the match and only 30% on his doubles, it looked like he'd fluffed his lines and might have been pegged back to 2 sets all by going out of the board when having 80 left twice. But he rallied to pin 60 and knock out the number 5 seed. And that is 14 seeds of the top 32 going home and not coming back after Christmas here at Ali Pali, Paul Nicholson.
Lots of respect on the stage at the end. Fair play to Rob. Had to wait a long time for that first game of the tournament. It's his only game of this event, and he's got a lot of time off before the Win More World Masters at the end of January. Lots for him to think about. Is he going to be in the Premier League? Time will tell. But if Scott Williams keeps winning darts matches at Alexandra Palace, he might even be in the conversation himself. Who knows? But he's got Ricardo Pietreczko next. I do think there was a lot of respect in that game, Dance. But I'm going to go one better. I think there was too much. That's why we have the statistics that we do. Williams wins, and in his section, with his experience of making a semi-final last year, who's to say he won't win that section and go that far again?
So, Gian van Veen, Dave Chisnell and Rob Cross, the 28th, the 6th and the 5th seeds, all out tonight. The only seed that progressed was Super Chin, Daryl Gurney, and he needed 5 sets to get past Florian Hempel. But the third round is now complete, and we can run through it again for you here on talkSPORT 2 before we bring you a chance to listen to Usyk Fury 2, how the fight was won. So recap, the top half of the draw. Luke Humphries, the defending champion of world number 1, will play the Welshman Nick Kenny. Jermaine Wattimena, who's been in good form coming into these championships, he will face Peter Wright. Stephen Bunting, Madars Razma, Damon Heta, Luke Woodhouse. And that's the first game on in the afternoon session, Heta Woodhouse, when we're here on Friday the 27th. Then it's Clayton Gurney and Bunting Razma. And the evening session Price, Cullen, Watamina, Wright and Humphries, Kenny. So that top half of the draw gets sorted. Then Luke Littler, Ian White is the third round tie. The Ryan Derby, Joyce against Searle. Cross against Petreczko, it's Williams against Petreczko, I do beg your pardon. And Aspinall Gilding. Then we move into the bottom half of the draw. Dutz against Ratajski, Doby against Rock, Clayton against Gurney, and Price against Cullen. And then at the bottom of the draw, Van Gerwen against Dolan, De Graaf against Nabrida, Evans against Owen, Vandenberg against Rids. Your reaction to what we've seen tonight, Paul Nicholson?
Well, before we do that, we've actually just had word that the last game of the evening session on Saturday, the 28th of December, that will be Littler, and it will be against Ian White. So Littler will be back on the 28th. He loves a Saturday night, doesn't he?
He does. He was here for the Saturday night last week and got the job done in fairly short order after a nervous start. But now we know the setup of round 3, and there are certain quarters of that draw that are very, very open, given the seeds that have crashed out, including tonight's, with the number 5th and number 6th seeds departing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think quarter number 4 is wide open, and Michael Van Gerwen has had an early Christmas present, in my opinion, with Anderson going out, Chisnell going out, but very open for someone to have the run of their life. Someone like maybe Jeffrey de Graaf. He might have to clash with Michael Van Gerwen. Brendan Dolan tried to stop MVG, of course. Paolo Nabrida having a fantastic tournament, the first Filipino to make it to the last 32. Ricky Evans against Robert Owen. There are stories attached to that. Don't forget about Dimitri against Callan Rids. I think that's going to be really good. But what a schedule we've seen pre-Christmas. Tonight, in fact today, the game we had with Mansell in Clayton, and then we had Chisnell up against Ricky Evans. 2 last leg deciders, and we're all a bit shattered, but we already want more, and there will be plenty more come the afternoon of the 27th.
Seems like a long time ago that Luke Humphries was up there on night 1 making short work of his first round encounter, and he'll be looking at the draw and thinking, well, you know, retaining this title, it's not impossible, and the way he's playing, and everyone just seems to forget talking about him half the time.
Yeah, don't forget about Humphries. He is the best player in the world. He is going to be world number 1 at the end of this tournament, come what may. Nobody can overtake him. But that's it when it comes to pre-Christmas starts. It's been 9 days of carnage, just the way we like it. This place is going to be quiet for a period of 3 days now, but it will reignite not far from now. Dance just from me and to producer Matt, Feliz Navidad.
Indeed, and to you, Nico. Thank you for your company. And to Chris Mason and Mark Wilson and Chris Murphy and Matt Gubbins, our producer here. We will be back on the 27th of December at 12:30 p.m. as we start round 3 here at Alexandra Palace. But next up on talkSPORT 2, it's Usyk versus Fury 2, how the fight was won. But you've been listening to coverage of the PDC World Darts here at Alexandra Palace. Keep it talkSPORT 2.